Hello, everybody. We are back. Let's see. What do I usually say here? Live from internetland. It's the Fiasco Joe Show with your host, Fiasco Joe. That's me. Today we are back to a certain visual novel I've been playing. It's called I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. I started this game yesterday. I really like it. The art style is cool. The music is pretty good, the character design is pretty good, and the writing so far is pretty good. So, we're gonna pick day one, load. Okay. Okay. Strato Colony. Okay. Let's talk to Tang. Tang is pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. It shouldn't have happened, she says. Tammy's what? What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no reason for that holo projector to break. Professor Howe said it was recently serviced and nothing was wrong with it before she gestures angrily, just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Solane. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. Understandable. We all grieve in our own way. Let's talk to Dis. Can you believe Tammy died? Dis asks morbidly. I heard Chief Engineer Instance tell someone about it. He lowers his voice. Tammy got shocked by a broken holo projector, the one in the creche with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? When she touched it, she got chucked all the way across the room. He makes a sailing motion with his hand, and bam! She was dead before she even landed. Wow, really? This suddenly looks embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, it's too bad she's gone. She was nice. He tugs at the sleeves of his oversized jacket. But that's kind of a cool way to die. If you say so, Dis. We all grieve in our own way. Okay, so in case you missed it, yesterday a girl named Tammy died in the way that they're describing. She was in the creche. The creche is basically the nursery where the babies and little kids get cared for. And Tammy was the little girl who didn't like to go outside. She just liked to hang out here in front of the crew quarters because that was her safe space. And she died anyway. So, let's see what Mars has to say. Mars is staring into space looking somber. She doesn't even notice as you come up beside her and barely reacts when you say hello. I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there in that spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun doing nothing, just being happy. You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there, working on some little craft project, humming to herself. I miss her too. And now she's dead, Mars says, making a face. How's that for fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend? You don't have an answer. You've never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before, but of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. Mars clicks her tongue. Oh yeah, Administrator Seek is looking for you. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs. She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. What's this? You find a hefty red xeno egg. Okay, guess I have that now. Let's see, I need 10 toughness or 10 organizing. We've already read this. Command is a ward of long hallways, blah blah blah. There's offices, the supply depot, warehouse. Okay. View the notice board. Please wear your masks when out of doors. During pollen season, ambient particulate may trigger runny nose, watery eyes, and mild cough. Dr. Instance. Upcoming event. Second month of dust. Our first annual Vertumna festival. Notice, take precautions outside the colony boundaries. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. Current Council of Administrators, we kind of already got this. Chief Cultivator, Flulu, Geoponics. I wonder if that's my mom. Alright. So I don't have what it takes yet. I have 7 toughness. I need 10, or I need 10 organizing. I think for this is the first month I've been out of the crew quarters. That's what happened at the end of the last episode, was I was in the crew quarters and I rested, but then Tammy died and that gave me 50 stress. So I'm already halfway back up to being too stressed out to do anything. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Callie's sitting in your mom's flower garden with his face in his hands. He'd clearly been crying all morning and probably all of yesterday too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the creche, Tammy was always the mommy and Cal was the daddy. Even though you were just the little kids, he kind of always giggled about how obviously they were going to be together forever, like a princess and a knight. Are you okay? I miss her too. At least you finally left your quarters. I miss her too. Me too, he sniffs, looking up at you. You can see how puffy and red his eyes are. Me really, really too. Tammy always liked these flowers, he mumbles. Sometimes I pick some for her. He ran his hands over the pretty white flowers. Don't tell your mom, okay? Tears well up and slowly leak out of his eyes. He doesn't even blink, just stares at the flowers. As the tears run down his cheeks, you decide to give him some space. Poor guy. Those are my parents. Let's talk to Mom. The mom pats your shoulder encouragingly. I'm so sorry, Selene. Let's talk to Dad. Your dad gives you a hug. Sorry you're feeling blue, Selene. He says things will start to look up again soon. Maybe. I'd really like there to be no more casualties. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. We've already kind of read this. Other corridors, teaching labs and med bay, route to your classroom. Rest of this wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Selene. Register for engineering classes. Should I do this? Using Congruence's HoloNet scheduling system is almost a test on its own. You feel like a hacker navigating the confusing interface, but manage to add your name to the list of drop-in students. You're now eligible to join Tangent and some of the older students in engineering classes. Okay. Engineering. 1 engineering, 1 friendship with Tangent, 15 stress. So that's all it gives you is 1 engineering. Study humanities. Two reasoning. We're gonna do one of these 3 today. Let's study engineering. We just haven't done it yet. Mid-pawn engineering. Study engineering. Okay. This is gonna be fairly straightforward. What does this do? +1 to a card. Change suit to strength. Okay. Is it permanent? I doubt it. +2 engineering. Okay. Oh. -1 from in mourning status. 15 stress. 2 kudos. Kudos is the currency. Reputation-based currency. Colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead, or you could get back to work. Yes, I'll attend. The colonists gather in the recycling room. Bringing organics down to be recycled here is one of your chores, but you've only come here for a funeral twice. Both times the colonists had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral on Vertumna, and the first time for someone you actually knew. The mouth of the organics recycler has been polished, and a wreath of yellow flowers placed over the opening. Inside you can see a shrouded figure, Tammy's small, fragile body. Tammy's dad, Uncle Tonin, is here, as well as your parents and antecedent and the rest of the council. Cal is here with his mom and her parents, already crying in their arms. Her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people, and the feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. I guess that's Tammy's dad, Tonin. Cal. Okay. Governor Udicott stands before the assembled crowd. There are no words to ease the pain we feel today, she begins solemnly. There is only the sad company of those of us left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child, she continues, one of the first humans to be born in space and the first to die on an alien planet. In her short life, she exemplified the very arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully towards life beyond our humble Earth. She's the first of us who can truly call Vertumna home. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community we are capable of great strength. Udicott closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tonin sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never truly be lost to us. The ceremony is adjourned, but a few people stay back to console Uncle Tonin as he keeps vigil over the recycler. Cal and Uncle Tonin hold each other and weep openly. Your mom stays behind to receive Tammy's remains. As the head of geoponics, she'll be responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. I want you to know that you don't need to be okay, he says, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand. I think I'll go back to school. Should I take the month off? Let's take the month off. Going from mid-pollen to late pollen next month. Am I still in morning? I don't know how to see that. It's this, in morning. Okay. 3 months it's gonna last. What do we get? Minus 50 stress. Okay, that's a useful thing. The prospect of just going back to school like everything is normal is too much to handle. You end up spending the whole month alternating between sleeping, scrolling the HoloNet, and staring into space. It's restful at least, and everyone gives you the time you need to process Tammy's death. Okay, then we go from late pollen to early dust. Remember, in mid-dust, there's a festival. Solane Tangent says, approaching you with purpose, we need to discuss my brother. Who, Dis? Yes, Dis, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and she trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but well, people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's been worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. I'll find out. Thank you, Solange, she says, looking relieved for a second before her expression hardens again. I mean, it would be a ridiculous waste of resources if something happened to him, and no one knew where he was or how to find him. Right, of course, Tang doesn't get worried. Of course she gets worried. Where is this? Where is this? Hello, have you seen this? Anemone runs up to you. Hi, Solange, she huffs, catching her breath. She grins. On the ship, adults are always saying, no running, Anemone, no running. But outside there's so much room, I can run for 5 minutes in one direction. Even more after the robo-plows cleared the land for farms. Here, I got something for you. Sure, we'll give that too. Cool, thanks, Anemone says, taking the egg. I guess it is my birthday this week. I kind of forgot. Learned, Anemone likes red xeno eggs. For friendship with Anemone, lost collectible. That's cool. Oh, we don't want to go out there. Oh, here's Dis. You tell Dis that his sister Tangent wants to know where he's been disappearing off to. His eyes flit briefly to yours, then he stares vaguely off toward the engineering wing, where his sister is reading on her hollow palm between classes. He doesn't say anything. I can't ask him straight up without 10 friendship. She's worried about you. She doesn't care about me, he says suddenly. Tangent's just worried she'll get into trouble if I don't come home one day. He scowls and picks at the hem of his sweater. She doesn't care about anything but her schoolwork. We'll leave him alone. Whatever. I couldn't figure it out. Sorry, Tangent. Tangent looks up at the sky and shades her eyes. It's too bright, she complains, and it's too hot. And the nights are cold. Living on the stratospheric meant we never had to experience discomfort. Remind me, why aren't we putting our resources into repairing the ship? Here, I have something for you. Cancel. Need reasoning 20 or greater. Reasoning 12. Okay. Let's go back to classes. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Oh, we've already read that a lot. Pick an activity to do this month. Shall we study life sciences? Sure, we'll study life sciences. Cal may not be the most attentive student in the class, but what he lacks in book smarts he makes up for in hands-on experience. Nobody else has as much experience with the native flora and fauna as he does. Goal 12. We won. 0, 1, 2. Okay, that's a straight. +3 for the straight. +1 for 2 of a kind. +3 for flush of 3. See how it works? The positioning matters because we got a run of zeros, 2 of a kind. We got a straight 0, 1, 2, and these are all blue, so that's a flush. Then this 4.1 is just very, very +4 biology. We're getting a lot of biology, and that's good. +1 reasoning, +15 stress, and +1 kudos. +1 friendship with Tangent. We may end up being very good friends with Tangent. It's time for Vertumna. Udicott and the council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet Vertumna. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Udicott's speech. In Earth history, Udicott begins and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down. Ahem. In Earth's history, Vertumna was known as the god of seasons, change, gardens, and fruit. It's no coincidence that our forebears in the Vertumna Project chose to take on such an auspicious name in the hopes of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue this tradition of Vertumnalia, a midsummer festival to celebrate our Vertumna, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today. Clap. I got 5 loyalty. Everyone cheers and applauds. The members of the council all get up on stage one at a time to give their own short speeches. Governor Unicott announces each one. Governor Udicott command. Okay, we've already seen this. When it's your mother Flulu's turn. Okay, my mother is Flulu, the chief farmer. She announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown from Vertumnan soil. Your eyes go to the feast table. Aboard the Stratosphere, it would have been mostly soy-based food from the nanoprinters, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in the small growing bays. This year, the earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some Vertumnan plants you've come to appreciate. Juicy potato pods and slabs of edible fungi. Udicott takes the stage after everyone on the council has said their piece. What is a festival without festivities, she asks. Professor Hal and Security Chief Rhett have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children. Which one do you join? Bot wrestling, science fair. Let's join the science fair. I get 5 loyalty again. I'm turning into a very loyal teenager. Tangent competes, of course, entering her study of the ship's hydro recycling system. It was previously used to make urine drinkable, but she offers that it could now be turned to new uses. Despite how many times she says the word pee, it's still boring, but she put a lot of effort into it. You turn to go next. The judges are all very interested in what you're bringing to compete against Tangent. Present your challenge. Present your project. Reasoning challenge. Okay. Reasoning hard. Our goal is 40. I don't think I can do this. Yeah, there's no way I can do this. Maybe. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. Okay, I only need 22. But push through 55 stress, give up. Okay. Defeated. 1 kudos. Tangent wins. She accepts her prize with grace, having expected nothing less. Your baking soda volcano was much less impressive than you imagined. It just kind of fizzes, and you don't explain it very well. It's pretty clear your dad helped. Maybe next year. Dang, y'all, I'm better than that. I thought. Minus 50 stress. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. Okay. Mid-dust. Age 10. Dust season. I guess that's my birthday. Okay. And I'm clear-minded. 10% chance to get a bonus +1 when increasing skills. Okay. Let's talk to Cal. What's up, Cal? You're looking for Cal in the garden when you nearly trip over someone else. One of the younger kids, and they're blindfolded. Hey, they exclaim, ripping the blindfold off their face and throwing it to the ground. It's Cirrus, one of Anemone's brothers. He glares at you. I was almost done. Cal jogs over and grabs Cirrus in a friendly headlock, ruffling his messy red hair. Dude, you're so close. Cirrus stamps his feet and complains that you got in his way. It's not their fault, Cal says. They didn't know we were playing a game. Give me a sec. I want to teach them how to play. Cal turns to you as Cirrus leaves. Sorry, Solane, he says sheepishly. I was teaching Cirrus a new game, but he's more like Anemone than I thought. Real competitive, you know? He stoops to pick up the blindfold, brushing off the dirt. I've been trying to come up with different kinds of games other than sports ball. He says, no winners or losers, I just want to have fun with my friends. Cal looks at you hopefully. Do you want to learn how to play? Let me check my schedule. Yes. We get +2 friendship with Cal. Cal's smile looks like it's going to stretch right off his face. Radical, he shouts, jumping up and down with excitement. Okay, so first put on this blindfold. The blindfold is a little scratchy and smells like dirt. You can feel Cal's big hands on your shoulders. I'm going to spin you around, and when I let go, you got to listen to my instructions. We're going to walk all the way to the cafeteria, okay? You nod. You can't see Cal's grin, but you can hear it in his voice as he spins you around and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3. First, Cal says, you gotta walk forward 10 steps. You follow Cal's instructions as best you can or make things difficult for him. Do your best. You take 10 steps straight forward, holding your hands out for balance. The rocky dirt between the garden beds crunches under your feet. Yeah, Cal says. Now turn to your right and take 15 steps until you get to the door. I'm gonna get it right. You turn to the right and walk forward, counting out 15 steps. When you stop, Cal laughs. You can hear his footsteps crunching behind you. I forgot how much bigger I am than you. You're like 2 more steps away. You take 2 more steps until your outstretched hands land on the warm metal of the door. Success! Awesome, Cal says. You can't help but smile. This is fun. Now hit the door button on the right and then keep walking forward till I say stop. Go really slow, okay? You open the door. What's this do? Need empathy 20 or greater. I have 10 empathy. Okay, half of what I need. You open the door and start to walk forward. The path slopes downwards and your feet slip a little bit even though you're moving as slowly as you can. Real dirt is nothing like the metal floors of Stratospheric. It's turbo rocky here, Cal says, and you can feel uneasiness prickle up the back of your arms. Just keep going forward slowly. Can you trust him? You try to do as you're told, but after a few steps, your foot knocks against a sprawling root, and you fall forward, catching yourself on your hands and knees. Ouch! You tear off the blindfold, a sudden rush of tears flooding your eyes. Cal's beside you in an instant, kneeling on the rocks. Are you okay? He asks. You look down at yourself. Your knees and hands are pretty scraped up, and your pride is bruised, but other than that, you're okay. Cal helps you stand. I'm sorry, Solane. I'll be a better helper next time. He asks if you want to get some potato juice at the cafeteria instead. You spend the rest of the afternoon brainstorming more games where there are no winners or losers. Okay. Cal is a game designer. Anemone, talk to me. Anemone is running around the sports ball court, touching her hand to the ground at each corner. 18, she counts. 19. When she reaches 20, she collapses into the grass and checks her hollow palm. I'm training, she explains. My big bro Com says I have to get my legs climatized to the planet if I'm going to be team captain like him. could train together. I need toughness 20 for that. Too soon to give another gift. Done. Okay. Let's go to class. Alright, what did I do last time? Study life sciences? Yeah. Okay, this time we're going to study humanities. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn, because I was up late repairing Congruence's subterminal, and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Freedom, equality, democracy. My friends are all here. I feel safe here. Just doodle instead of writing. I'll say my friends are all here. You write about all your buds and the fun things you do together. When Hal wakes up from his nap, I lost friendship with Mars. He asks a few students to read their essays to the class. Mars is annoyed that you hardly mention her. Well, you aren't really friends, so... Good grief. But I kind of like Mars. Can I be friends with Mars, huh? It's 3 creativity, plus 2 persuasion, plus 15 stress, plus 1 kudos. Not just plus 2 kudos. Done. Mid dust goes to late dust. Okay. Alright. Next up, gonna help. Greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from earth that might belong in a desert, jungle, or temperate forest. Some are so delicate you have to spray off any germs in an airlock before you can enter. In the seasonal garden's dry soil, tiny purple weeds sprout up from the cracks and wind their way around each other, suffocating one another in an attempt to gain higher ground. Pick an activity to do this month. Alright, we'll do this one. Your mom sticks a shovel in the ground. Bugs, bacteria, fungi, disease. Your mom waves her arm at the distant jungle. And who knows what else could be out there just waiting to infect our farms. You think your mom is strong, like physically, but sometimes she can be kind of a wimp. They're just bugs. Alright, we're going to shovel dirt. We got it. Easy. Easy peasy. Wait a minute. I can do better. Oh, that doesn't count as a straight. Huh. Whatever. We won. Alright, done. Late dust. Early wet. Uh-oh. It's the rainy season. Okay. Talk to Mom. Your mom is hard at work breaking ground for the new fields. As the colony's chief cultivator, she's been preparing for this year for as long as you can remember. Hey, Solane, she says, leaning hard on her tiller and mopping her brow. You need me for something? If you're not going to class, I can always put you to work. Okay. Already kind of had that last episode. Your dad is up to his elbows in rich brown dirt. You've rarely seen him happier. Hey, Gooseberry, he says, scrunching his nose at you instead of waving. Here to give your old man a hand? I could use one. Help with the animals. Need animals 20 or greater. I can tell this game really wants you to sort of specialize a little bit. Because it's already asking me to do like 20 skill points. It's pouring rain and everyone's trying to stay dry under the grass-roofed palapas. Everyone except this. Off in the distance, over at the wall near the sports ball field. He's definitely skulking. Ah, well. I'm not gonna snitch on my buddy. It's not how we do things. Mars scowls from under the protection of a transparent umbrella. Absolutely not, she pouts. Do not even ask me to do anything. If my hair gets wet, you're soy meat. Soy meat. Alright, I could give her a gift, but... let's see. I should be able to apply to deliver supplies. Man is a war. Okay, we've already read that. Apply to deliver supplies. Chief Administrator Seek greets you at the depot. They look you up and down. Selene, you've never struck me as particularly responsible or organized, but children never are. What makes you think you'd be good fit for the position of courier? She didn't realize there was going to be a job interview. Oh, you didn't realize there was going to be a job interview. I can carry a lot. Strong for your age, maybe. But lucky for you, you're the only applicant this week. You've got the job, for now anyway. They use their elegant stylus to note this on their holopalm. Come back in a few minutes, and you can help make deliveries. Yes, there will be kudos in it for you if you do it correctly. Okay. Ten stress. 5 kudos. Friendship with Mars. Perception and organizing. That's not bad. Seek sends you all around the colony delivering supplies. During your first week, it's mostly small things you can carry by hand or push on a little cart, stuff like tools and electronics. Some are high priority, which means you have to move fast. It's fun getting to yell, "Important delivery coming through," and people actually get out of the way. Alright. Going to deliver some supplies. Good. Best score. Organizing. Which is absorbent. Absorbent brain is my special trait. 1 friendship with Mars. 1 perception, which is down here. That might be useful. 6 kudos plus 1 from best score. Okay. And it's only 10 stress. That's really pretty good. I could earn a lot of kudos. Perception might be useful. And organizing might be useful. Having a terrifying familiar dream. A monster crashing through the walls, unfathomably large, every part of it wriggling and moving and searching for something. It tramples through the colony as you watch helplessly. Time shifts to the wreckage of your home. You're picking through it looking for something, tears streaking down your dust-covered face as you lift heavy pieces of debris, searching. Alright, that was 5 stress. You wake up shouting no, but your voice is drowned out by a deafening rumble from the skies outside. The bedroom window is covered in water. It's pouring down from the clouds. You guess this must be rain, but you've never experienced it before. There's a bright flash from outside, then another crack and rumble. Thunder. It must be a thunderstorm. It's still the early hours of the morning. You've already almost forgotten your bad dream, but you're too unsettled to go back to sleep yet. The rain beats down on the roof of your quarters. joined now and then with great peals of thunder like the footsteps of an angry beast. Hide under the covers until it's over. Run outside and play in the rain. Go to your parents for comfort. I'm going to go outside and play in the rain. Stress and rebellion. It's surprisingly warm outside, and the water feels nice hitting your head. Everything smells fresh and damp and wonderful, and the dusty packed ground has turned to squelchy mud between your toes. You don't go too far from the door to your quarters, but it's exciting in being outside in the dark, watching dramatic streaks of lightning arc down to the hills behind the colony. Early wet goes to mid-wet. I'm bored. This is boring, Mars complained, stamping her foot. All the adults want to do is work, and they're not paying attention to me. Okay. Alright. Who wants to talk? Cal, talk to me. Hold this to your head now, my darling, you hear as you enter the garden looking for Cal. It'll help with the swelling. Cal is sitting with his mother, Auntie Tira, who kneels beside him holding an ice pack to his head. Cal's eyes are a little puffy. He rubs them and sniffs as you approach. Hello, Selene. Tira greets you with a kind smile. Don't worry. Recalcitrance just took a tumble off of something he shouldn't have been climbing. His full name is Recalcitrance. Cal. Recalcitrance. Mom, Cal complains, it wasn't that bad. Are you gonna be okay? I'm okay, Cal reassures. I just bonked my head a little. Mom always knows how to make it better, he says with a boyish smile, even if I'm old enough to take care of myself. My brave boy, Tira says, stroking his hair. Thanks for humoring me. She looks over to you. Don't let him show off for you, Selene. Ground-based feats of bravery only for the rest of the day. Cal whines and wrinkles his nose. Aww. Tira laughs and wraps him in a big motherly hug, rocking him back and forth. Despite his protest, Cal's eyes close in happiness. He really loves his mom. What a good guy. He really loves his mama. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, come on, Tangent. Tangent is watching a construction crew build scaffolding for the new engineering pavilion. They're using mushwood, which is so light that one person can easily lift a 10-meter-long pole and stack it into place. She points toward them. Human beings are so great, don't you think? Before we landed, this was all just dirty jungle. Now it's civilization. I've been learning about adaptability in writing and biology class. The books say it's what sets us apart from the animals. Like, we don't need fur because we can make warm clothes. And if it's too hot, we can make air conditioners instead. Yeah, totally. Maybe the animals have neat adaptations. Also, we can sweat. Tang nods vigorously. Yes, also that. I read that not many animals sweat except humans, and it makes us naturally good in hot places. It's like we're made to be explorers. Together, you watch as the foreman puts the blueprints for the scaffolding onto the floating screen on her hollow palm and raises it to the scaffolding to check their progress. I'd like to see an alien do that, Tang says primly. Humans look defenseless and weak, but we're the strongest species in the galaxy. Who else can literally bend reality to their will? Not a stupid alien, that's for sure. You're a little afraid of the aliens, Tang. A little intimidated. She put one finger to her chin. I'm living proof that humanity is greater than our biology, she says. All of us are, really, with our genetic enhancements. We're the next step in humanity's evolution, from great ape to galactic superspecies. Okay. Let's check my relationships. 2 hearts with Cal, 1.5 hearts with Tangent, half a heart with Mars. We've met a few. Chief Steward and everybody's auntie. She runs the creche and helped raise all the colony children as well as her own daughter Anemone. Her age 37. Okay. You can get little write-ups on all the characters. I'll get into that all later, I suppose. Let's go to class. What do you think? Class? Life sciences. Tang is absent almost all of this month. Hal explains that Chief Engineer Instance has asked for Tang's help with a few experiments. Because you're judged on on what you know, not what you prove you've learned in class. Many older students choose to skip class and instead get hands-on experience in their field of interest. Tang's been working closely with Instance since she was just a kid. Okay, I only need 12. I got 16. Okay. Victorious. +1 reasoning. +4 biology. +2 from 1 challenge and absorbent brain perk. +1 kudos from best score. +15 stress. Done. Mid wet goes to late wet. Let's run around and see if anybody wants to talk. Oh, look. Harvest a sturdy mushwood log. Okay, that's a collectible, I guess. I don't know what it does. What does it do? +2 to a card. I have no idea if that's permanent, but I might be willing to use that. Alright, nobody is interested in talking. We have 30 pieces of kudos. Let's deliver supplies. It's been a while, but it's time to attend a meeting of the Secret Fun Times Club. Mars started the SFC years ago when you were little kids. Tangent and Tammy agreed to join at the time, but then you got all busy with other things and forgot about it, and then Tammy died. You meet in an unused conference room in command, which Mars says is perfect for a secret club. Club President Mars brings the meeting to order. Tang, Vice President of Writing Down Secrets, records the meeting's notes on her holopalm. As Vice President of Fun Ideas, it was your job to come up with something for the club to do today. You chose making friendship bracelets and brought all the supplies you'll need. Today, Mars announces, we're going to make friendship bracelets, and I have an even better idea. We're going to sell them to people for kudos. That isn't really how kudos are supposed to be used, but Mars is hard to argue with sometimes. The three of you spend the afternoon braiding bracelets out of recycled bits of wire and bright plastic packing straps. Your hearts aren't really in it, though. All three of you know that Tammy would have been much better at this than you. Making friendship bracelets was one of her favorite things. She was always giving them to people and didn't expect anything in return. It's eventually Mars who calls the meeting early. She takes all your misshapen bracelets and looks at them dubiously. I don't know if people will want to trade their kudos for these, but I'll do my best. I'll put the kudos in the club treasury. Meeting adjourned. You ask Tangent if she thinks Mars is actually going to sell them. I think so, Tang tells you, but the club doesn't even have a treasury. She'll probably just keep the kudos for herself. She doesn't seem to care. Good grief. Alright, well, delivering. I could have done that differently. That's not as good. Okay. Okay. In. Probably should have used that piece of wood. The days have been getting shorter with only the yellow sun barely skimming the horizon. One morning you wake in the darkness and have to check your hollow palm to know what time it is. You see a hollow stream from Mars. Good morning to all my pals, if you can even call it morning. They've named it glow season because like everything is crazy glowing out there in the dark. I'm staying in the heck inside for the next month. What's the point in everything in even going out if you can't see anything? It's going to be a long, boring month. No way it looks cool out there. You peek out the window. The wormhole is the biggest you've ever seen it, like a massive fiery ring in the sky. The planet must be very close to it now. And out in the jungle, something new is taking place. The plants are flowering, glowing iridescent blooms, and everything is full of life. There are strange new sounds, long hooting calls and gurgling roars. After Mars' message is a notice from the council warning everyone to stay safe inside. Tammy's dad and the other surveyors have been called back, and the gates closed for the month. There's a tension in the air as if everyone is waiting for something. Late wet goes to glow. Okay, so that's what that is. Woo! It's very glowy. Dark. Guess this is find a glittering crystal cluster. Redraw hand. Hey, Dis. Dis is staring off into the wilderness outside the gates. Feels different, he mumbles. Don't know how, just different. You ask him what he means, but he just shakes his head and stuffs his hands in his pockets. Dare you to eat this worm. Need bravery 10 or greater. Okay, I have like no bravery, I think. It's probably not the sort of thing that Dis would like. I'm probably not going to be very good friends with Dis. My mama? Selene, your mom stops you as you walk by. What are you doing out of our quarters? It isn't safe out here. But I'm going to school. She nods with grudging approval. Fair enough, she replies. Stay close to the stratospheric, got it? You don't know what's out there this time of year. As you walk away and are just out of earshot, you hear her mumble, Stars, it is beautiful though. Aw. She has a sense of wonder after all. Okay. Let's go to class. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine. Okay, we've read all that. Let's study life sciences. How much stress do we have? 62. Or should I study engineering? Now let's do life sciences. I think it's time for me to start specializing. This week in biology class, you're learning about predators and prey. Professor Hal brings up a picture of a hop eye on the holo projector and asks, who can tell me what special things hop eyes do when they see a predator? Tang's hand shoots up. They hop away very quickly. That's why we call it a hop eye. Hal nods. That's true, but not what I was getting at. Tang stammers and looks upset, like she can't believe she got something wrong. Hal scans the class again. Anyone else? Solane? Do they thump their feet? They fly away? I don't know. Let's try, they fly away. What's this? It's animals 10 or greater. They're kind of both worth the same amount of points, except I might be able to use this to make a straight. Now let's try this one. You go with your gut and make a guess based on what you know about the behavior of communal animals. That's right, Hal smiles. Solane sounds like they might have met one before. 10 gives you an appraising look. Maybe she didn't expect this from you. Okay. Let's see. Redraw hand, add +2 to a card. I don't think I want to add anything to the baby cards, you know what I mean? I'm gonna save that for a better card. Maybe I should add it to Cal's strength. Well, whatever. I don't know if it's permanent. That's the other thing. If it's permanent, that's pretty cool. It's daytime when the emergency sirens start up. Well, what passes for day, it's still nearly pitch black except for an eerie green twilight glow on the horizon. You look toward the gates. They're open. Wait, they shouldn't be open. Uh-oh. Stress +50. Okay, I'm at 100 stress. The alert blares out of every speaker in the colony. It's the same one you used for hull breaches and fires, and in space, it meant you were supposed to go to the nearest emergency shaft and put on a spacesuit. On Vertumna, it means go to an assembly point and wait for instructions. The closest assembly point is the children's creche, but from the opposite direction you hear shouting and loud popping noises. Gunfire. Is the colony under attack? Guess I will. I don't have 5 bravery. I don't have any bravery. Hide in the creche. Unchangeable. You find Dis in the creche and join him in hiding under the arts and crafts table. The lights are dim. You scared? He asks quietly. Nod silently. Of course I'm scared. I just don't want to fight. I'm gonna nod silently. Dis shrugs. I thought I would be, but I'm not, he says. I'm not scared of stuff like this. You can't help but glance at the holoprojector on the wall, the one that electrocuted your classmate Tammy earlier this year. The glowing bear looms over the room. And for a moment looks more like a monster than a toy. They said there was a teddy bear on the holoprojector. You grew up here. It feels weird to be hiding here like you're just little kids again. You hear more gunfire and yelling, but within half an hour they play the all-clear tone. Chief Surveyor Tonin comes in to let you know it's all safe now as the lights come back on. You glance at the hologram teddy bear again. Tonin was Tammy's dad. How can he be sure it's safe? How can he be sure anything is safe? You're relieved when your parents arrive with an ashen-faced Cal. They won't talk about what happened at Geoponics. After 2 weeks of darkness, reached the end of age 10. After 2 weeks of darkness, with the blue sun barely skimming the horizon, it begins to move higher in the sky and daytime returns. The council admits they don't know how the gates were opened or how the creatures got in. Some of the attacking creatures were once thought to be docile, while others were species nobody had seen before. It was like something had driven them to assault the colony. At least nobody was killed this time. Okay. Early quiet. Childhood is fleeting. The game will end when you reach age 20, so you should focus on a few skills to improve and friends to spend time with. Use the Skills and Friends button at the top left of the screen to keep track of them. Good luck. Okay. Okay, this is all the progress I've made in that year, I guess. Still at 100 stress, so we just talk to people and then go back to town. Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. It stings, she says, because it's made of acid. Acid snow? Tang nods. Professor Howe says it isn't harmful and it's an important part of the natural cycle here. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope. She sticks her tongue out and lets some flakes fall on it. It tastes kind of sour but sweet, she observes. Fascinating. Tang pulls a sample jar out of her coat. We know what it's made out of, but our understanding is incomplete, she says, and places the jar on an outcropping of rocks. The big mushrooms changed in shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder, is there some sort of signal that precedes the changing of the seasons? What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season? A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait. Need some time off. Well, let me talk to my friends first. Hey, Dad. You're looking a little worn out, my little firefly. Your dad greets you, looking concerned. You know, despite what your mom might say, there is such a thing as too much work. Maybe some R&R over in the lounge would help recharge those solar cells. What do you say? Maybe I just need a hug. 5 loyalty minus 5 stress. Your dad throws his arms wide. Well, get in here, tiger butter. Tiger butter? After a long hug, you do feel a little better. Your dad gives incredible hugs. He gives incredible hugs. He's such a warm person. Dig up a bunch of medicinal roots. Draw a card. Mars is leaning over a hollow screen, chin in hand. She exhales and blows a piece of hair out of her eyes. I hate schoolwork, she says, but my dad's told me that a good education is necessary for all people of culture, so I guess I gotta do it. She scrolls listlessly through her work with one finger. I'm doing the science part last, though. Let's see, I found something you might like. Crystal cluster. She holds up the crystal to the light and gazes into it. At the right angle, I can see my face in it. Beautiful. Mars likes crystal clusters. Done. Okay. Still gonna rest right now. You nestle in the cushions, close your eyes, and listen to music. You have an archive of over 100 years of music to choose from, but still, you wonder what new songs they're writing these days, 10 million light years away on Earth. The only new music you've heard is when the adults have come up with a new space shanty. It's nice, good music for harmonizing with your friends as you work, but it's not really something you want in your ears all the time. Took the month off. Gotta forget this low value. What's it called? Wondering. So much has happened in the last month since the monster attack during Glow. The idea of this place as a peaceful utopia has been shattered. The security squads are training new members and keeping close watch on the gates now. They're reinforcing the walls and even installing a few robotic turrets. In class, you have drills on what to do if the colony is attacked again. All the excitement you forgot today was your birthday. Your parents haven't forgotten. They'll wake you up early with enthusiastic shouts of surprise. A Vertumnan year is only a little longer than a year on Earth, so you've taken up its calendar for birthdays. You're in the second Yours is in the second month of quiet. Sparks snow drifts down past your porthole window as you snuggle with your dad. Your mom climbs up too and sits on the edge of your bed. Your dad pulls a bowl of fruit from behind his back with a flourish like a magic trick. At least you think it's fruit. What are those? Bobber fruit, your dad grins. The foragers have been picking these just outside the walls. They might look funny, but they're tasty. Try one. Okay. +1 to a card. Change soup to blue. How interesting. I don't know if that's permanent. I need to learn if it's permanent. You take a cautious bite. The pulp is soft and tastes a bit like lemon, only more blue. I bet you can't wait to join the surveyors out there, your dad says wistfully. Who knows what else you'll find. Selene is not allowed outside the gates, her mom interrupts, her voice sharp. It's too dangerous for kids. Well, I know, but eventually, your dad says, but your mom cuts him off again. But not now, your mom replies. Not since the attack, not with everything we know is out there now. The attack was scary. I'm getting more and more loyal. I'm just not a very rebellious kid, which is weird because when I was actually a young person, a teenager, I had a huge problem with authority. So I just was not much of a team player when I was actually a teenager. But nowadays, I try to be more of a team player. Your dad hugs you close. Oh, don't worry, Tomato Head, he says warmly. We'll keep you safe. Your mom reaches over and pats your leg awkwardly. I know it's scary, but if you do as you're told during emergency drills, you'll be okay. Nothing is going to hurt you kids while we're around. You'd like to believe them, but you've seen the colony fall in your dreams. How long will it be until those visions become real? Even still, your mom says, it's clear that everyone should know how to defend themselves if it happens again. To be clear, this includes knowing when to run away, your dad adds. Security Chief Rhett's offering self-defense lessons at the garrison, you know. Even for kids. If you're interested, you should drop in sometime. Defense training in the garrison. Your mom gives you a stern look. And I've heard stories of kids sneaking outside the walls, she says grimly. If I catch you doing that, I'm going to put a chip in your ear. Oh, a tracking chip. You laugh. What a good joke. Your mom doesn't laugh. What, me? Never. Yeah, you better never, your mom retorts, crossing her arms. She's overprotective because she loves me. Aww. Mid-quiet. Alright. Let's walk around and see if there's anybody who wants to talk. Doesn't look like it. Alright. How long have I been streaming? About an hour and 8 minutes. Alright, guys, we're gonna call it here. New save. Day 2. Okay. Alright, we're gonna call it here, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Assuming you enjoyed it. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll see you tomorrow or the day after, maybe. I don't know. And take care of yourselves. Join me next time. Same Fiasco time, same Fiasco channel, something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, take good care of yourselves. And we'll see you later. So long.